All right, guys, good morning. Happy Fire Friday to you. Fire Fridays with Dave. It is the 15th of November. We're coming up on Thanksgiving and all the holidays up ahead. Super excited. I've been planning with our girls their travels home for Thanksgiving, mapping out and enjoying the airlines jacking up their prices by 300% over Thanksgiving travel. It's very kind of them for the holidays. Uh, but man, we can't wait to get the family together. It'll be the first holiday in the new house, so we're super pumped about that. Excited. So hopefully you guys have some good plans ahead and some time with friends and family and all that good stuff. So let's dig into it. So today we're going to talk about being an accidental influencer. And as you guys know, and if you're watching this for the first time on video, or if you're a guest here or something, we talk about sales all the time. At EXP, we're one of the most prolific selling brokerages in the country and even in the world. Sell a ton of real estate, but every company needs to grow, right? This is saying you're either green and growing or brown and dying. Every company needs to grow. And in the real estate industry, there's an average 30% annual attrition rate on agents. So there is not a brokerage in existence that doesn't need to focus on attracting agents and growing, because if they don't, they'll be out of business in 3 to 4 years. And so you're always looking to do that. EXP is one of the few that has realized that, hey, you know what? We could hire a bunch of managers to sit there and bang out phone calls and that kind of stuff and try to bring people in. But ultimately, and I was one of those people at one of those brokerages. And ultimately, you know how I got a lot of my appointments and a lot of the people who decided to join, or even if I talked to them, their deciding factor was because someone I knew that they knew, liked and trusted and respected was at that brokerage, right? So I was always going, hey, look, I've got Lars here. I've got Rick here. And don't you know them? Like, oh, they're great. They're with you. Okay, cool. I'll take a look. Right. So it's about the influence and the relationships that are out there. It's the same way you guys get business. And so Glenn recognized that and created this model and created an opportunity for us to harness the influence and relationships of all of the agents that are here to grow the company. But at other companies, it's funny. You recruited a ton if you've been at other brokerages, you recruited a ton of other agents to those brokerages as an agent, whether you knew it or not. Somebody saw that you were there and agreed to go there. NAR does a study every year, and they show that 92% of realtors, of agents, are at the brokerage they're at because they knew someone there, right? So that's just a fact of life. You were recruiting for free for another brokerage. Awesome. It's kind of like if you go to an amazing new restaurant or you go see a new movie that just came out. Right. I love using this example because, I go see an awesome movie and I'm like, man, what do? You come out of the movie theater and you're like, that was amazing. I love that movie. So then you go tell you're like, hey, have you seen this movie yet? You got to go see it. It was so good. New restaurant opens. You're like, oh my gosh, the food was awesome. I'm so glad they opened up here. Let's go back. I'm going to bring some friends. Right. Hey guys, have you been in this new restaurant yet? It's amazing. You might even put a review online. Okay. All of those things help that business make money. I have yet to receive any checks for any of the movies that I've recommended people to. Even restaurants. I mean, it's unbelievable. They are not paying me to send them business, right? We do it anyway. So, at EXP, if you have an amazing experience and you feel like it's an awesome place, you have an opportunity to share that with enthusiasm with other people. EXP takes half of the income, the revenue that comes in, not the profit once all the bills are paid, the revenue coming in at the top level, half of it, and they share it with their agents every single month. So that comes out to hundreds of millions of dollars a year being shared with EXP agents. It's a pretty huge number. So very exciting. But here's what I run into. I was a professional recruiter. I did it. I started off in I sold for a couple of years, and then I started growing brokerages and opening up franchises. And so I learned it. I went to classes on it. I shadowed other people that were good at it. I studied it. I tried it over and over again and failed a bunch of times and messed up a bunch of things. And people walked out and I wondered why they didn't ever call me back. Right. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And I honed it over more than 20 years, almost 25 years of doing that. Thousands and thousands and thousands of one-on-one appointments, talking to people, trying to recruit them. But that's what I got paid to do. In a lot of cases, I owned those businesses that I was growing. So I was growing my own business like you're doing lead generation. If it's not your business, right? If it's not your primary source of income, at least not today, and you haven't been doing it for years and years and years and years, the problem for most people is they look at it and they go, yeah, would I love some passive income? Would I love to bring some friends over? I love it here. I would love to tell some friends about it and have them come over. And I would love for EXP to pay me money, and I would love to amass this passive income, this monthly. I mean, heck, even a couple $1,000s a month. Think about it. You get into retirement, you're living off of your, 4% or whatever off of your investment funds, and you have a couple $1,000s coming in every month on top of that. When you're on a fixed income, that goes a long way, right? That's that difference between like, hey, yeah, I can buy that new car. Hey, yeah, we can go on those vacations. It's that difference in quality of life that happens. And it's a little bit of extra security because, we're all going to live to 150 now. So, so you got to plan for a little bit, you got to plan for a little bit longer. So this is that opportunity. People want it. But there's a couple of things that I run into in talking to people, whether they say it or I see it in their practice. Okay. And some of it is just a matter of, I don't want people to think that I'm just about recruiting, or that I'm approaching them because I want to make money from them, or that, I'm only asking them because I get paid to ask them, or, that we're not about production over here, we're about recruiting. And you know what? Honestly, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, because my main focus and what I love doing and what's paying my bills and everything else like that are my real estate sales. And I want to be focused on real estate sales. So I don't want to, I've heard people say, hey, I'm not really interested in EXP. I don't want to be a recruiter, which always makes me laugh because we're not a recruiting company. We are a sales company, selling a lot of real estate. However, right, what they're really saying is, I don't want to divert my time. I'm not really, I don't want to go out and like learn scripts and do all that kind of stuff. Some people do, right? When you see the larger opportunity that's there, some people put that into their business plan and do it. So if you are in either one of those boats, right? If either one of those is you, where you say, hey, yeah, sure, I'd love to take advantage of the opportunities that are here, but I don't want to put a lot of time into it, or I'm nervous to stick my toe in the water. I don't want to damage relationships or whatever it is. Or you're on the other side and you're like, no, I really want to focus on this, and I really want to do a lot of this, and I want to utilize all of the paths and resources at my fingertips. Okay, what we're going to talk about today will apply to both of you. All right, so get ready to take some notes, and when we're done, get ready to take some action. So we're talking about being an accidental influencer today. And so what I mean by that, and in some of the stuff that we've sent out, we said, spoiler alert, it's not really by accident. Okay. But it's about doing it in a soft approach. And I refer to this as softening the beaches. So we'll take, storming Normandy, right? Or, if you're going to take the beach, a part of what you do is you're going to, you're going to fly overhead and you're going to drop bombs on it and everything else. And that's called softening the beaches, right? Because then the boat's going to land, the troops are going to get out and they're going to storm the beach. But before you do that, you have to kind of open up some holes and set the enemy back on their, on their heels a little bit to be able to get there. So we're not talking about enemies here. However, what we're talking about is the fact that, there are some things that break through the reticular activating system, right? Your RAS. And so, you have to, the brain is bombarded by hundreds of thousands of images and opportunities all day, every day. And so your RAS is that part of in your brain that protects you from getting into overwhelm, right? And so it lets things through that it feels are safe and that it recognizes. And if they don't recognize you, then they're not going to see it. And the example you probably hear in that is, you see a new car and you're like, wow, that's really cool. I've never seen any of those on the road. I love that. That's totally unique. I really want to get one of those. That's my new dream car. Okay. Then over the next couple of weeks, you're driving around the road and you see those cars everywhere. And you're like, man, everyone got those now suddenly. So, everyone had the same idea, right? Those cars were always there. You just didn't see them before because it wasn't through your RAS. And so there are things that you can do where people see things enough and they start to associate it with you. It's the same way you get people when they think of you, they think of real estate for your sales. Okay. The same things you do for that. When they think of you, they think of EXP. All right. And it's not about putting the brand first, because you are the brand when it comes to your sales. Okay. But when it comes to your sales, the product is your services, right? The product is what you do for your clients. When it comes to agent attraction, the product is EXP, right? It's what EXP does for them and their businesses. And so you just have to think of that's the part that you're getting through their RAS that they're looking at, right? So I always joke with Rick Jensen on here, right? Because I've got a friend down in Florida who always said, like, think realtor, think Rick. That was his big marketing campaign. And it was brilliant and it worked because he just pounded that into people's brains, sending it out all the time. Think realtor, think Rick, think realtor, think Rick, think realtor, think Rick. It was on billboards. It was on all of his mailers. He sent postcards out and it just said, think realtor, think Rick, think realtor. He had t-shirts. I mean, it was everywhere. Think realtor, think Rick. And the guy was wildly successful. So when people in his market thought realtor, they thought Rick. They could not help themselves. It was just those two words were synonymous. And so that's where, it's not about putting the brand, like I'm a big believer in having custom signs so you're pumping your brand. It drives me crazy when I drive through a neighborhood and I see for sale panels and big company logo, office, whatever, maybe a name writer on it, and sometimes not even that much. And I think, oh man, this is like your opportunity. This is your billboard out here that you work so hard to get, and you're not utilizing it. You're not branding yourself out there. So in those terms, like it's about your brand, not the company's brand. I love that with EXP. It's, you follow all your state and federal guidelines and everything else. But the bottom line is it's brokered by EXP or powered by EXP with your business name, your logo, your everything else, so that people know that you don't want them to call EXP. You want them to call you. Okay. But in this case, when it comes to, but that makes people do some things that drive me crazy from an agent attraction standpoint, where I go, man, 92% of agents are at the company they're with, the brokers are with, because they knew someone there. Agents are going to join EXP, and it's going to be through someone. I've, having been on the corporate side, right, for all those years, we know how many people come to the company and haven't talked to anyone. You think everyone knows about EXP, but it doesn't mean, even if people have kind of like, yeah, I'm there, I like it, whatever. But they no one's really talked to me about EXP. I've researched it on my own. Okay. We get these all the time, thousands of them, right? There's thousands of people joining every single month. And so many of them haven't talked to anyone yet. No one's approached them about it. They might be in your market. You might know them. Right? Have you ever went like, oh, wow, that person just joined? Okay. It's kind of like driving through your neighborhood and going, oh, the Smiths are selling their house with someone else. Right. Okay. So how do you prevent that from happening? Well, you talk to the Smiths about real estate. Okay. Same deal here. Okay. So let's go through some of this stuff. So we're going to talk about harnessing your influence. You have influence. Well, some people go, well, I'm a new agent. I don't really sell that much. I'm not very influential. Okay. Influence doesn't only come from being a top producing realtor. Okay. And being a top producing agent is a double-edged sword, because when you're a top producing agent, people do watch what you do with your business. People will copy some of the things that you do, and they might make a brokerage change. If you go there and they go, well, if it's good for your business, I'm going to check it out as well. You might provide some validation, but for a top producing agent, it's narrow at the top. Okay. And it's wide at the bottom. And there are a lot of people that aren't super happy about the top producing agents taking a lot of the business, right? The mentality sometimes is that way, unfortunately. And so it's, sometimes people think, oh, they must lie, steal, and cheat to get all that business, right? There's not always and sometimes, top producing agents, tend to be high Ds. If you guys are familiar with the disc, right? They're drivers and they're focused on the outcome. They're focused on moving things forward. They're busy, right? And so they're sometimes come across as a little bit unkind. It doesn't mean that they're unkind. It just means that they are very focused and they're trying to get things done. They're busy. You might be working. This might be this is my only buyer. This is my one buyer. This is all my business and this has to work for me. And I'm trying to take care of my buyer, right? And you're putting an offer in on one of their listings. Okay. But that might be one of their 50 listings they have right now that they're managing. They don't have a lot of time for chit chat. Call me. You got a question, call me on the phone, but call me prepared. Call me with your questions, have your stuff together, ask me what you need, and let's get off the phone so I can keep doing business. And so that comes across sometimes not great. Okay. And so the bottom line is when you think, oh, I'm not a top producing agent, I won't have the same influence. Okay. Sometimes those people soften the beaches for you. They make a move, they validate the business model, and people go, huh, they moved over there. That's interesting. Didn't know we had a bunch of top agents in our area that were going to that business model. Maybe I should check that business model out, but I don't really know them that well. I don't love them. Who should I talk to? Who do I know that's at that company? And then they go, right. Brandon's at that company. Awesome. I'm going to call Brandon. I love Brandon. Brandon's a super nice guy. Okay. So that's where you have that opportunity. But if they don't know you're there, then they'll call Kim instead of calling Brandon. Sorry, Brandon, you lost out. Good job, Kim. So, right. So you get the idea. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So let's talk about a couple of ways that you can attract without asking, because a lot of people are afraid to ask, right? The 5,000-pound phone, same thing. People are afraid to pick up the brick and ask for business and ask for referrals and everything else like that. And it's the same, that call reluctance happens in this case too. I've got a really good friend. I think they would be a really great fit for EXP. They would love it here. This would be really great for their business. But then they call it, what your drunk monkey sits on your shoulder and whispers in your ear all the things and all the reasons why you shouldn't do it and all the ways that there's people are going to think you're crazy for calling them, and they talk you out of it. Right? It's okay. It's okay. Number one, you don't ever have to make any calls. You don't have to. Now, we know that active prospecting will always get more results than, a passive marketing and that kind of stuff. But the marketing does work and there are opportunities. So let's dig into those. So one of the most simple things that you can do that I just don't understand why people don't do it. Okay. Some people take that freedom of being able to put things out there and not brand the company to an extreme. I see stuff all the time where people are promoting business houses that they sold, new listings on the market, all that kind of stuff. They put it on social media or they'll promote other things that they're doing. And there's no company logo. The company's not mentioned. I have no idea. I mean, I've looked at some of these and I'm like, did they leave? Right? I go look them up. Nope, they're still with the EXP. I'm like, why, when the company rewards you for referring people to the company, would you not let people know that you're here so you can take advantage of all of the statistics? Now, it's not about putting the brand first. It's not about being the brand bigger. It's very subtle. It's very subtle. But when you're promoting that you have a new listing, when you're promoting that you helped your buyer secure a new house and you're so excited for them, when you're promoting, here's the stuff going on in my business, here's the stuff going on in our market, I'm a market expert and that kind of stuff. And other agents, you're probably friends with a bunch of other agents from other companies. And if you're not, then that's actually step one. Okay. So that they can see it. Okay. But then step two is don't be a secret EXP agent, right? You heard about don't be a secret agent. Don't be a secret agent so people don't know that you're in real estate. Like, oh, I didn't, like, you should never bump into a friend and have them go, oh, I didn't know you're in real estate, right? Well, what are you doing, right? So same thing. Oh, I didn't know you were over at EXP. How did you not know I was over at EXP? Just them knowing, again, so many people are moving to EXP and they're reaching out to people that they know at EXP to ask, how is it? How is it? Do you like it? What are the splits? Like, how does it, what's kind of there? What's this like? Okay. they're going to ask you. But if they don't know you're there, they won't ask you. So like step one is so easy. Just don't be secretive about being EXP. Some people are like, so like, they get the, like, I'm the brand. Yeah, absolutely. But that's at other companies when there's no benefit for promoting the brand, right? There's a benefit here, a big benefit. There are people here that make $6 to $10 million a year from revenue share. It's a real opportunity, right? It's thousands a month to hundreds of thousands a month to up to $1 million a month. And that's just where we are today. When the company's 300,000 agents and 500,000 agents, those numbers will be even bigger. The opportunity is huge. Even if you capture a tiny, tiny percentage of it by just being passive and doing a couple things, you're talking about thousands of dollars a month that the company is giving to you for doing no work. It's a referral fee. It's a referral fee, but it's a super passive referral. All right. Number two, you can repost things. If you're like, well, I don't want to, do a bunch of posts and do all this other kind of stuff. Okay, follow EXP corporate accounts. And they've got a couple different ones, right? Because they've got a couple things, and you can follow whether it's, the YPN, right? Young Professionals Network. You can follow, obviously the corporate accounts, the commercial, all of those different things that they have out there. Follow all of those. And if they post something that's great, I mean, heck, even if it's just a really nice holiday graphic that they put out there. And so you repost that and just have your own little message to it. And it's got a nice graphic celebrating the holiday with the EXP logo on it. And you post that. You could just literally can click repost, retweet, whatever. You don't even have to say anything if you don't want to. It's just super easy. Like, hey, I thought this was really cool. Okay. Super easy. But what does that do? It lets people know you're at EXP. Okay. If EXP does something really cool and the corporate, puts something out there and talks about something great that they have going on, right? Or the fact that, one of the leaders was in the news for doing something great, leading the industry, new tools that we've put out there. EXP is constantly adding more stuff and doing cool things and getting positive press. So take those and share those. Okay. You've got a great opportunity for that. So that's another one. Okay. The other is other EXP agents, right? You don't dim your, let's say you don't dim your candle by lighting someone else's. I think that's a saying, right? If it's not, it is now. So, right? So like if someone else at EXP is doing something great or posts something really cool, says something in a good way, or there's someone that a friend at EXP who has a cool listing, go, hey guys, check out this listing. Isn't this a cool listing? People love that. I'm telling you, people like some of the stuff that people click on the most when I share it are like find some crazy mansion or some celebrity's house or whatever. And people are like, whoa, that's amazing, right? Some funky house on an island somewhere or whatever. You get a lot of legway out of that. So look at other EXP agents and what they're doing and post it. Okay. Share those things because then people will go, oh, wow, what a cool network. People at EXP helping each other out. And oh, you're at EXP. I didn't realize. And oh, that really great agent is at EXP. Really cool. It could be in your market. It could be out of your market. It doesn't matter. Right. You don't have any competition. So it's not about that. You need to be, not be fear-based and focus on the opportunity. But all of those things, share those things, be friends with other EXP agents, follow some of the top agents and post some of their cool stuff that they're doing. Certainly the partners in this group, we've got people in like 22 states and several countries and stuff. So share the stuff that other people are doing, promote their business, give them some kudos. Because guess what? It makes them look good for their sphere and for their business. It's an awesome way to support each other, but it's also an awesome way to, you're not talking about recruiting, you're talking about production, and you're showing the network that we have, and you're reminding people that you're at EXP, and you're reminding your sphere that you're in real estate. I mean, that checks a lot of boxes. Super easy. Okay. You're literally just resharing what someone else did. They did the work. Let them do the work. Go search out cool stuff that other people are doing and reshare it. Awesome. All right. Next one. Simple enthusiasm. Okay. Simple enthusiasm. Guys, when people ask, like, why, how come all EXP agents are always, recruiting and doing all this kind of stuff? And I'm going, look, they're not going to recruit to something that they don't believe in. If they're getting ready to leave, they're not going to promote the company. If they're unhappy with it or mad at the company or like, it's okay over here, right? They're not going to be promoting it with enthusiasm. It's not how we work. So if agents are promoting it, that is the reason we use Net Promoter Score. And if you're not familiar with Net Promoter Score, look it up. It's a really cool scientific method. If you've ever bought something, online or had any kind of service done or anything else like that, and you got an email or a text or something, and it said, "Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would you be to refer us or recommend us to a family or friend?" Right. And then you give them a number, and then they go, "Thanks for answering. What most influenced your score that you gave us?" And you do a little short text answer and you submit that. That's Net Promoter Score. Every industry uses it. The real estate industry has not typically used it. So we were one of the first real estate companies to use Net Promoter Score, because that is your temperature gauge on how are you doing in driving enthusiasm and engagement and joy, right, in your clients. Right. In this case, the agents are the clients. And so the company wants to know how we're doing, and we're tracking that. And so we have an incredible score. Last I saw, it was up at 74, and it's not like a 1 to 100 and 74 is a C. Like it's a whole scale, right, where they go through, and the top couple numbers are promoters. A big swath of the middle are passives, and then the largest portion of the bottom are called detractors. Right. And so if you're not getting someone to give you above a 6, that means that they're a detractor. They're likely to say something negative or not say something, they're more likely to say something negative. And if they're in that middle range, then they're just passive. They're fine. They're pleased. It's good enough. Everything's fine. No, everything's good. Like, how do you like it? No, it's good. If I asked you, right, "Lars, how do you like EXP?" And Lars goes, "Oh, it's great. It's great. No, I'm happy here." Right. But I had to ask Lars. He didn't come tell me. But if I get a 9 or a 10, Lars is going to say, "Man, I love it here." Right. Without being prompted. So the goal is the same thing with your business. The goal is to get those 9s and 10s in the hearts and minds, in the experience of the agents. So agents aren't going to go out and promote you enthusiastically if they're not getting a great experience, if they're not enthusiastic about the opportunity here and the environment and all that, the services and everything else. So if that's the case, when people mention that to me kind of negatively, like, "Oh, these EXP agents talking about their company and stuff," and I'm like, "Let me ask you a question. So are you saying people don't do that at your company?" "No, we would never do that." I'm like, "Why not? Why do you think that is, that the agents at your company aren't enthusiastically talking about their experience with their broker, who is their business partner and service provider and, all those things? What they're not having the kind of it, like, again, I'll go back to the movies or the restaurant or whatever. Okay. I would like to think that even if revenue share didn't exist, that EXP agents would still be talking enthusiastically about their experience at EXP. I know a whole bunch of people who brag on the company who have zero interest in revenue share. Okay. I see them out there, top producing agents who are not recruiting people who could, that's just not in their focus, right? Not on their business plan right now, but they talk positively about it because they're having a great experience. Okay. So just pure enthusiasm, man, this is great. This is whatever, right? All of those things. Just sharing enthusiasm. You're not asking anyone, you're not promoting it. You're not saying, "If you want to hear about EXP, call." You don't have to do a call to action. You don't have to do anything that makes it appear at all like it's a sales post of any kind. "I'm just so happy about this. I had a great experience with this. This is so awesome. Man, I'm so happy I'm here." Whatever it is. Man, this company just keeps reinventing itself. It's really great. Okay. And I'll tie into that. You can highlight, there's another one that ties into that as well. New tools or new technology that EXP rolls out, right? You're talking about that, and you can share it in a way that it's like, "Hey, all of my clients, my friends and my family, my sphere, my clients, I'm so pumped. EXP just came out with this. That's going to allow me to serve my clients at a higher level. It's going to allow me to be more efficient in my business. I'm going to be able to speed you through. This is going to give my clients better access to data and information to make informed decisions and to feel in control of the process." Right? I mean, like, whatever it is, like all of these cool things, like this company is cutting edge, right? When you work with me, you're working with an agent who is using the best, the most up-to-date and the most exhaustive data, research, information, and everything else, and has the tools to serve their clients at the highest level to make the sales process smooth, seamless, quick, right? And to help you get the results that you want. I can give better advice to you, as your trusted advisor in the real estate transaction because of all of the stuff I've got at my fingertips that EXP provides me. That's why I'm here, right? That's great for building your sales. But guess who sees that? Other agents who don't have those things and go, hey, right? I want those things. How do I get those things? How is that? And then they look it up and they go, oh, it's going to cost me $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 a year to get that. And you guys get it for free. Well, and you also get this, and you get this. All right, hold on. Right? I thought it would be more expensive to move over there, but I'm finding for me to have all the tools that I want to grow my business, it's going to cost me more money to go buy those because EXP gives a ton of really awesome stuff. Right? Okay. So just talking about those things in terms of sales and how it promotes your sales and how it impacts your ability to serve your clients is another way that people look at it and go, man, that's pretty cool. And again, reticular activator, every time they're seeing EXP with it, they're like, oh, you're with EXP. They may not be thinking of moving right now. Okay. But at some point they will, right? What's the average lifespan of an agent at a brokerage? I mean, it has been 3 to 5 years. And it's actually shrinking to be less than that. Agents are moving more quickly than that, right? So the people in their homes now are actually probably, it used to be every 5 years people buy a house, and that's kind of gotten longer again. But with agents moving, it's actually gotten shorter, right? Because it's become less of a stigma to move to change brokerages. Where it used to be one of those things like, oh, my clients will think, if I move brokerages that I'm, unstable or whatever. And then agents have finally understood that they are the brand and that most people don't even know what, their clients don't even know what brokerage they're at. They could care less. I'm working with you because I want to work with you. You're with them? Okay, great. I'll work with you when you're with them. I don't care, right? And that plays out in all of the NAR statistics of buyers and sellers too, all of the research that they've done. Only 4% of buyers and sellers chose their agent because of the brokerage they were with, right? And a lot of that comes down to like a, reload. I had to choose them, right? Because there was a requirement. All right. Another one, in addition to highlighting new tools and technology, is highlighting staff. We have some incredible staff, whether it's some of the customer service people, the tech people, the accounting people, the state team, your brokers, all of those people in there, everybody that you can interact with. I know a lot of you went to EXPCon and you got a chance to rub elbows with some cool people that were there, right? And you realize, man, like not only are they really smart and they're good leaders and doing a great job with the company, I'm impressed with like how they handle themselves on stage, and I'm impressed with what they're saying, and I'm impressed with what they're doing. So I feel confident in our leadership. But then afterward, they didn't get whisked away by their bodyguards or disappear into the green room, never to be seen again. They walked down the front stairs and sat with everybody in the audience. And then when it was over, they hung out for an hour and chatted with everyone in the room, right? Took selfies with people and talked about things and talked about issues and, and listened and asked questions and cared. And you went, man, they're really cool, right? I'll never forget the time we went to an event and, Kyle ended up going for runs with the founder and CEO, Glenn Sanford, multiple days in a row. Just him and Glenn going for a run, right? What a cool thing. So you get a chance to meet the staff, meet the leadership team, and you go, man, these are real people and they really care and they're really sharp. So whether it's an interaction with them anywhere, it doesn't matter. Snap a selfie with them. Or if you don't get a chance to do that, snag their picture, online or whatever, or from a thing, and highlight them, thank them, tag them in it. Say, hey, I appreciate the way that you do this. And, or man, if you haven't met this person, whatever, I got a chance to talk to them. Our leaders are real humans who hang out with us and talk. And, it was pretty amazing, the conversation I had, or whatever it is. I got a chance to listen to this. Like, again, take your pick. Lots of different things that you could say, but highlighting them, again, that is something for your clients. It makes you look good. It makes your business look good and stable. You are partnered with a great company with great leaders. So all of those things like, all right, this looks really good. Okay. But the other agents see it and go, man, I've been at this company for 15 years and I've never met the president, the CEO, the senior VP, that whatever, right? Or I saw them in passing one time. I got to touch their garment as they passed, right? And it's just different. It's different from a lot of companies. So not only do they, will they talk to you, they want to, right? That was something that we always did at our events as we were growing. And we actually blocked off time at all of the events to say, where can we strategically be that we can have the most interactions with our agents possible? All right. We actually set up this ended as we got bigger, became too difficult. But you have big parties and we would have drink tickets for everybody, right? And we would hand out the drink tickets. Everybody get free, go to the cocktail reception, and we had a brilliant idea that the executive team would all hand out the drink tickets. So all of us spread out around. It was like an outdoor resort and everything else. And so we were all spread out around the pool and we were all sitting there with drink tickets. And then there was these lines behind all of us. It was like, oh, we got to talk to everyone. But some people wanted to talk to you for 20 minutes and some people just wanted a drink ticket. So I'm like, hey, so what did you want to talk about? And they're like, can I get that drink ticket? Like, yeah, here you go. But you get the idea. The point was, it's the mentality. The mindset is different. All right. Other people to highlight. You can highlight the tech and everything else. You can highlight staff. You can also highlight your partners. Okay. And, there's I don't usually like to use the term upline, downline and all that kind of stuff like that, because it's not about up and down or sideways or anything else. And that's why our group is called the FYR Partners Community. FYR stands for Fund Your Reason. Right. And this is all about us helping each other succeed, to use this platform and to use this industry to build phenomenal lives, right? To dream really big and go achieve it, but not doing it alone. Right. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. Right. And this is not a, flash in the pan. We're here to build something big to fund our lives. And that's what it's about. So you have incredible partners, whether they're, directly someone who has sponsored you and whatever, or they're just someone else in this organization. But what's really cool is, we have, I'll call them, sister communities, right? We're fortunate that, our good friends, the Fredericks, Gene is my direct sponsor into the company. He's the one that brought me here. So he's the one that told me about this opportunity and explained the company to me, introduced me to Glenn. Gene is the godfather of helping this company grow and spreading the word. It's what he does better. He tells great stories. He's a phenomenal human being. People just love him and respect him. Gene is the godfather of growth. And so, over 80% of the company is somehow attached up to Gene. Okay. Which means there's all of these groups where people have come in and then they've gotten excited and they spread the word, and then they got excited to spread the word, and they trickle up to a handful of people that Gene spread the word to, who came in and started spreading the word as well. So all of these groups are our partner groups. Okay. It's not a financial connection. It's an emotional connection. It's a mindset connection. We think the same way. We're here to support each other and help each other be successful. You're surrounded by a bunch of people who want you to succeed, even if it doesn't make them more money. Okay. So just let that sink in for a second. That's, just for a second, just think to yourself, is that who you are? Right? Do you like helping other people succeed, even if it doesn't help you? Right? Does that make you happy? Like when you get to help someone, right? Does that, like do you have a great sense of satisfaction, right? When you get to help someone, even if there's no way it's going to come back to you, and you weren't even, and even if there was, you weren't even thinking about that, right? If that's the kind of person that you are, then you fit in really well with this organization, because that's who you're surrounded with, right? And those are the people we hang with. And so there are people all over the place that are highly, I love it. Tara had a chance to go down to Miami for EXPCon, and we were talking yesterday about the fact that, she's walking along doing the 5K and going through, she was only walking because she has a bum knee. So, right. But so she's walking along and she's talking with another EXP agent and they're chatting. Okay. And they're talking about business and everything else like that. Okay. Get to the end of the race. Turns out that he is one of the highest producing real estate agents in the world at any company. That never came up in conversation. Okay. His focus was all about asking questions. And she's like, yeah, new at this, just kind of figuring out what we're doing with things and everything else. And he was like, how can I help you? What are you doing here? Let me give you some advice. Let me do whatever. Right. And it has no benefit to him, but that's the mindset of who he is. And here he is, literally one of the top producing agents in the world. So that's who you're surrounded with. So highlight your partners, highlight all of the people, and you have the opportunity in this group. You're going to have people doing cool stuff, build each other up, support each other, promote each other, thank each other, do all that kind of stuff. Be part of the community, embed yourself in the community, right? But just don't forget that, part of what, my and our promise to, to our community is the fact that we bring connections to the other communities. I was blessed to be in a role where I got to know all of the other people in their communities, and they people that became very good friends of ours over the years. And so we, you ever want an introduction to someone, let us know. We can help you get introduced, but just know that like these are all of our sister, communities, sister brother communities that you can be connected with. There's tons of people. They will help you with your real estate sales. They will help you with figuring out technology. They will help you with, figuring out how to expand your business. They will help you figure out how to talk to agents. If you have an agent and you're talking to, and they're coming from a different company and they're trying to understand how to translate their business from this brand to EXP, you can find someone who's made that transition, who would be happy to share their experience and what worked for them to help that person make a smooth transition. Okay. That stuff is all out there. So highlight your partners. All right. Highlight staff. So I guess we talked about that, and talking about people. So I'm going to go to the next one. Sales, right? With your sales, again, EXP, what about being with EXP helped with your sales process, helped you get the business, helped you close the business, helped you with the transaction? Did you use any of the tools? Was SkySlope helpful to you? I mean, it's little things that don't feel like a big deal, but you never know what someone else is struggling with at their current company, what their pain points are at their other company, or what they love about their other company they're afraid or have been told they won't have if they ever leave, right? There unfortunately are some, I won't call them leaders, we'll call them managers, who do some fear mongering, right? Like, if you leave, your business will crash. And this is, across a lot of companies over years and years and years. It's just some people they're trying to just, keep what they have and not lose anyone. And they're more interested in making sure that their office has the right number of agents, and they're making the right number of profitability because it goes to their bonus and that kind of stuff. And it's just, that is the exception rather than the rule, but unfortunately they're out there and people are in those offices. And so then it's like, oh, if you leave, your business will go down. If you leave, you won't have these things. If you all of those other, you're going to go over there and then it's going to be, they'll tell you a sob story about how horrible it's going to be, or you're going to go there and you're going to have no support. You're going to have no help. You won't have access to these tools. There's no culture over there. There's no whatever. Pick your thing, right? And that's what people are told. And they're being told by someone that they trust, right? And so that's their reality. Perception's reality. So when they see things from you that contradict what they've been told, they start to question everything. Well, wait a minute. I thought you guys didn't have that. I thought X, Y, and Z, right? And then they go, huh, you do have all those things. So it may be a pain point. It may be something that they just don't understand, or maybe something that's incorrect in their head, where you're able to share that that's not the truth. Okay. So it may be something simple, but somebody might go, man, I really wish we had this. I have to go out and pay for it myself because our company doesn't provide it. Oh, you guys have that? Awesome. Okay. So you don't know. So anything that's cool, anything that helps you, anything that's whatever, just putting it on there that it's out there, or again, just highlighting your sales and having the logo on there seems the silliest, most easy thing. Okay. All right. Do you have all those things? Check, 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 check. All right. You can do all of those things, right? It's not like, oh, do one and then whatever. You can do all of them. Build it into your social media structure, build it into your marketing structure, build it into your conversations. It can be all of those things, right? So you can do all of those things. All right. So let's talk, along those lines a little bit more. What I believe is that, you attract what you put out there, right? You attract who you are. Okay, does that make sense? Right? You're going to attract your tribe, people who whatever you have out there, if it resonates with them, okay, then they want to talk to you about it. All right. You put something out there and it like be authentic, be yourself. Okay. And whatever what you put out there comes back to you, and then come from contribution. Man, I'm so excited about this. If you don't have this in your life, talk to me. Let me help you. Right. It's so cool that I have this opportunity. If you like, I'm not trying to sell anything or do whatever, but if you want this, like, I love to help people. If you want this opportunity, come talk to me. Right. There are several people that I see right here that, I share, what I do, what I'm passionate about, and that resonated. And those people are now here because of that. Right. And that's really cool, because what's really great about that is you surround yourself with like-minded people. Right. I've seen that thing with a bunch of lions and they say, surround yourself with people on the same mission as you. Right. And that's kind of like, man, what do we want to go do? What's our mindset? We want to go build success, but and hey, if you know me, I love cars. So I love really nice cars. I love fast cars, and I'm kind of obsessed with them. Probably get all of the car magazines. Kristen's nodding her head, right? I love to look at them. I love to drive them. I've Now that our girls are in college, my car money is going to pay for college. But we're almost done with that. But I would get, for the last 20 some odd years, I got a new car every 2 years. Okay. Every 2 years I trade out my car, different car every 2 years. Right. Just because I love the car I was driving, but ooh, that one over there, right? Trade this one in, go get that one. Trade that one in, go get that one. I actually had one car, I think, for 6 months. And it was fun, but it was fun for 6 months. And then, it wasn't really a good fit, but I wanted to be able to drive it. So, that is, I can't even remember why I'm talking about cars. Oh yeah. So, love cars, but like for this group, right? The group that we've attracted, it's, the opportunity to build success. Yes. Get, have the house that you want, get the boat that you want, get the car that you want, and all that kind of stuff like that. But it's bigger. It's bigger than that. So it's not a big flashy whatever. That's not the end game that we promote. If that's yours, cool. You can build success and make a lot of money and get all the cool stuff that you want. I'm not against any of that kind of stuff. I don't have any problem with that. And I have a lot of really awesome friends that have airplanes and yachts and, and all that kind of stuff like that. And they have all the things, multiple cars and, 5 Ferraris and whatever. Yeah, and that's what they love. And that's good. That's, that's their thing. But, we talk about fund your reason. We talk about a big picture for your life. We talk about the opportunity that you want, the things that you want to do, how you want to serve, how you want to give back, how you want to take care of your family, all of those things, the lifestyle. We talk about the, what Gene calls the left column lifestyle, right? To go to a restaurant, what's in the right column? Prices, right? The prices are on the right column. The food, the drink, the whatever, like that's on the left column, right? You have the whatever it is and the description on the right side. So Gene said, for him, he knew he had finally achieved financial freedom in like his initial thing, when he could go into a restaurant and go down the left column and order whatever he wanted to order without looking over at the right column, right? You ever do that and be like, oh, I would love that, but holy, like $175 for that tomahawk steak. Like, I can't really justify that, right? But when you get to the point where it's irrelevant what that number is, it's one of those things where you can be like, oh, well, that's really wasteful. But here's the thing: when you have a certain amount of money, you can buy the Lamborghini and still donate $3 million to charity that year. Okay, so it's one of those things like, well, if I spent all of my money on these things and there was nothing left for anybody else, sorry guys, right? I couldn't do any good with what I've done. Then maybe I can get behind wasteful. I don't know. I don't judge though. So people do whatever they want to do. But the bottom line for me is it's creating that. I've always defined financial freedom as being able to make the decisions you want to make without first having to check your bank account for permission. Okay. And so that's where you want to get. And but that has been this group. And so we have been blessed. We have, like, again, we have people with all different mindsets here, and we love them all, and we support their opportunity to go, because their life, their reason, whatever it is, our goal is to help them. I don't judge what your reason is, right? I just want to help you get it. I want to help you build it. I don't judge what the life is you want to build and where you want to put your money. Just tell me how much is it going to take, and then I'll show you the path to go make that so that you can go build that life. Okay. And this opportunity has no ceiling on it here. Build your sales business, build your revenue share, build your stock, get into the mortgage opportunity. I mean, like, all check, all the different ways to make money. You can do that all on this platform. Okay. And you can come up with your own. It doesn't have to be tied to ours, right? You can come up with your own opportunities out there and tie it into the platform. That's the thing. It's very entrepreneurial. Okay. But we'll still help you get there. We'll still help you build it. Okay. So coming from contribution and putting yourself authentically out there attracts your tribe. It's very attractive to other people, right? People want to be around other people that they feel will help them achieve their goals in life. Bottom line. Okay. I'm never going to follow anyone that I don't think can help me. I may like them. I may think they're great. I may, but I'm not going to follow them if I don't think they can help me, because I'm not in this life to help make anyone else wealthy. I'm as far like above me. You know what I mean? Like we're funding our life. We're in this to build our life and do all of those kinds of things. So I'm not here to be like, oh, I'm going to go make sure I buy all of John Maxwell's books because he's a guru and I like him. So I do read his stuff, but it's not about that. Right. And so it's about going, well, the reason I read his stuff and the reason I spend money on stuff, the reason that I spent money on Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, a couple of days of training and all that kind of stuff like that was because the stuff that they're teaching, it helps me get where I want to go. Right. It's helping me succeed. But if I tried it and I was like, that's not helping me get anywhere, I'm going to stop spending money on it. I'm going to stop spending time with it. Right. Or if I looked at it, what they're putting out there, and I was like, that's not really where I'm going, I'm not following them. Right. But if no one knows where you stand, if no one knows what you're doing, if no one knows where your heart is, what your mission is, and who you are, and what opportunities you're offering out there, no one's going to follow you. Okay. So you don't have to ask anyone to follow you. As a matter of fact, that's the reason we call it agent attraction. Because when you put it out there, who you are and what you do and what your mission is, someone who wants that in their life will show up and tap you on the shoulder or knock on your door or make your phone ring. Okay. But if you're secret about it, someone is looking for what you have to offer, and you're not letting them know that you can provide that for them. Right. It's about helping other people win. Okay. All right. Let's talk real quick. We just got a couple minutes left. I want to talk about different levels of production. Okay. And kind of where people's heads are. And we're going to go through it real quick because we have a couple minutes left. And we'll dig into this more. I have some documents on this as well. So inside of our FYR group, I'm going to share that with you guys. I'll post them over the next couple of days. I'm going to make a few tweaks on them. I'll get them out to you guys. And I'm really pumped in definitely in 2025, possibly be able to squeeze something in before the end of the year. But I am going to release the attraction class with some tweaks to it. So we're going to get back into that. And I've got a bunch of other classes that I'm going to be, just going through and teaching. I mean, they're casual, go through and do whatever, but just giving you some of the processes and systems to use to go through if you're interested in taking this to a higher level. So those of you that are saying, you know what, I'm starting to get a little traction here, or I'm starting to understand how all this works, and I'm getting a positive response from people that I'm talking to, maybe I want to dig in a little more. So we're going to do a couple things for people that want to dip their, kind of like, all right, I've dipped my toe in here. Maybe I'll get up to my knees. Right. So we'll do some of those, and then we'll have some for people who are just running and doing cannonballs into it. So, all right. So new agents. Okay. New agents are like, I love new agents because new agents come with a passion and like this, their hair's on fire. They want to go make it happen. And they're scared to death. right? So there's typically this combination of like, I'm so excited and I got this, my license, and I want to go do this and I want to do all these things and everything else like this. And I have no idea what to do. And oh my gosh, like someone's going to ask me to come do a listing presentation for them. Like I have to go sit in their house and tell them how I'm going to sell their home and tell them what price it should be. And like, I don't even know what questions they're going to ask me, right? You don't know what you don't know. And so like, and then it's like, all right, well then great, I'm gonna get under contract. And if you, well, everyone's been a new agent, you either are a new agent or you've been a new agent, and you're gonna have some agents on the other side who, you know, see you're a new agent and they like, it's like being, it's like being a freshman all over again, and the seniors on the football team, are like, hey, fresh meat, whatever, and they haze you, right? Because like you have those agents that are like, I've been doing this for 37 years, you're horrible at this. You don't know what you're doing. Or, they thought it'll be few and far between, but you will run into some of the old, grizzled lions out there that will, try to make you feel bad or, whatever it is, or they're just grumpy. And it's like, man, what happens if I have one of those people? What do I do? So, new agents, need information, confidence, and direction, right? I was talking about 3D. It's you have to bring the desire and you have to bring the drive, but then you have to get the direction, right? So when I look for people that I want to work with, I look for people that bring 2 of the 3D. Okay. I want you to bring the drive. You have to have that internal drive. I'm going to go do the stuff. If you tell me what to do, I'm going to go do it. Okay. And I had the desire, right? Because some people have the drive, but that's not what they want to do. I want to go build success. I want to go do blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Here's what you have to do. And they're like, I don't really like doing those things, right? Well, if it's not what you want to do, you're not going to do it. Okay. You won't be willing to do it. Okay. So you have to have the desire. I love doing this. This is what I want to do. I want to build this business. I'm really excited about it. Some people are there, but then they get up in the morning and they're like, and they have 1,000 excuses. Why not to do the work? Okay. Bring the drive, bring the desire, and then provide the direction. So new agents need the direction and they need the support. They need to feel the confidence that you can help them get there. Right. And if they have the desire and the drive, then they're looking for someone who is going to show them where to go. Like, I'm ready. Where do I go? Tell me which wall to run through and I'm going to go run through it. And you're like, all right, slow down. You're going to go here and you're going to make a right. And then you're going to go through here and you're going to go to this. When you get here, call me, right? I can show you where to go. I can show you how to build a successful business. I've been down this road before. I know where all the potholes are. I can help you avoid them. Okay. So that, like, a new agent is looking for that. A lot of people go, hey, am I going to get a mentor? What is a mentor going to do for me? How are they going to help me? How are they going to guide me through this? Okay. Because we all know the real estate class teaches you absolutely nothing about selling real estate. Nothing. It does not prepare you to be a business owner. It does not prepare you to go lead generate. It does not prepare you to get clients, to serve clients, or to go through any of the process. I mean, it's a shame, but it's an absolute waste of time. Okay. But you know how many mills there are, right? So, I mean, there's you're going to use that every day. Trust me. No. All right. So, for new agents, right, that's the opportunity. When you're putting stuff out there and you're creating an opportunity, you have to speak their language. You have to understand what they're looking for. All right. Because if you want people to be attracted to you, you're like, hey man, I'm doing all these things, this, that, whatever. I love to help and mentor new agents. You're gonna have a slew of new agents go, hey, can you help me? Can you help me? And then it's your job to assess, are they bringing the first 2 Ds? Because you can provide the direction. You have to get good at assessing who's got the drive and the desire. Right? And they have to have both. A lot of times you're like, they're really driven, like, great, but they're driven to do other things, not this. Or they really want this. They really want it. Like, cool. Go back and watch the Art Williams Just Do It speech. Do yourself a favor, just Google it. Art Williams Just Do It speech. Watch the long one and the original one, not the new one. Right? Not the newer-ish one, whatever. I think it's like 18 minutes or something. Go look it up. Go watch it. You've already watched it and it's been a while. Watch it again. And you probably watch it weekly. Okay? Because everyone's like, Art, I'm really going to do it now. I'm ready. My butt's on fire. I'm going to do it. And he's like, great, just do it. Because he's had enough people tell him they wanted to do it and they didn't actually do it. Okay? So go watch it. All right. So then you have your next, like, all right, great. Now I'm not new anymore. I'm in production. I've got a couple deals under my belt. All right. And a lot of times you come in and like, cool, my grandma let me sell her house. My aunt let me sell her house. My one neighbor, let me help them buy a house or do whatever. Now I'm out of relatives who need to buy or sell. What now? How do I generate leads? Right? I got a couple of deals. I made some money and I very quickly spent all of the money that I made. And I had 17 different companies all tell me that everything that they're producing is the best thing since sliced bread. It's going to help me make a ton of money. And I bought 24 different subscriptions to all these different things. And now I've got all this stuff. Oh, and I bought that Mercedes because I need to show my clients around in a nice car. And now I have no more business coming in. So my bills are now up here. I look really good. I have really nice business cards. I got great headshots. I have a fancy website and I have no clients. Okay. I mean, I'm saying like, this is the life cycle. Anybody's been around for a while, this is what happens, right? So what are you looking for at that point? It's now they're at this point, they're starting to go, hey, Jeremy, are you taking any more agents on your team? Cause, I'd like to come be on your team. Right. Cause I need leads. I need leads and everything else. So there's some direction in that of like, hey, how do you go get business? Where do you generate leads? How do you build your business? How do you start to run your business like a business? All right. So there's the shift in mindset a little bit in that, right? But leads are usually the biggest issue with that group. Okay. Generating leads, getting business, paying the bills. And you've got the, part-time to full-time in this group, right? I'm teetering on the edge of being able to quit my job and to do this full-time, but I need more closings, right? This is part of that life cycle if they're not in it. Or I quit my job, I'm doing this full-time, and I'm wondering, I'm starting to look to see if jobs might be available because I might need to go back to that job or to another job or to whatever. Okay. And so, but you don't want to, right? I love this. I love this industry. I love this business. I love the freedom, right? I have another friend who said that, people get into real estate for the freedom, the flexibility, and the tales of untold wealth. And they take the freedom, they take the flexibility, but they never get the wealth. All right. And so this is that opportunity, like, hey, what do I go do? Again, it's more direction, but it's more specific activities on generating business, generating leads and that kind of stuff. There's less fear of, all right, I know I can write a contract. I know I can take a listing. I just need to find people who want to buy or sell. Right. All right. So that's where you are. You get to the next level. I figured it out. I've generated more leads. I found out where my business is coming from. I kind of found my niche. I found the way that I generate leads. I have business coming in. I'm paying my bills. Okay. But what you're using, that next level, that third level, what you're usually lacking is systems and leverage, technology leverage, people leverage, systems leverage. Okay. Now, like an amount of business that a higher producing agent who has those things in place could easily handle with their eyes closed is absolutely swamping this person. And we also know that it doesn't come in even like if you say, all right, cool, I closed 12 sales last year. Well, I can guarantee you did not close one a month, right? You close 4 1 month, 3 1 month. How many is that? 7, right? You go through your numbers. It's lumped in to a couple of months with no closings. Okay. And so when you had 4 going on, if I had 4 closings 1 month, and I was helping a couple of other buyers that were going to end up closing the next month and that kind of stuff like that, my hair is on fire. You're the agent running in. Now it's paperless, but it used to be you were the agent running into settlement with the legal size folder with paper sticking out of it in every direction, like coming in 5-10 minutes late to settlement. And when you're like, sorry, I couldn't find the thing and the whatever, right? There was the agents running out to go to their listing appointment and they're 10 minutes late and the printer jams on their way out and they don't have their listing presentation and they're like, oh, right? So because you can't handle the business, even though it's amount of business you should be able to handle on your own because you don't have systems in place. They're doing it the first time, every time. Okay. So getting systems in place, understanding how to use technology to leverage yourself, understanding how to use people to leverage yourself and how much to spend and how much not to spend in order to get that kind of leverage so your business can accelerate. And what happens, this is your feast or famine cycle at this point, because you generate business. I know how to generate business now. I figured it out. In phase 2, I figured out how to generate business. It took me a while, but now I've got it. I'm generating business. But then when I have business, I'm so busy, I stop generating any additional business because I can't handle it. I'm going crazy. And then I close all my deals. And then when my last deal closed, I go, oh crap, I have no pipeline. I need to start over again. Roller coaster. It's awful. Financially, it's awful. Emotionally, it's awful. Psychologically, it's awful. Okay. But that group is in that. And then you have to figure out how to leverage so you can keep leads coming in. I need to leverage so I have lead generation happening all the time. Okay. Then I need to have some systems in place so that things don't take me twice as long as they need to take me to get them done. And I need to have some people leverage. Do I have a transaction coordinator or something else like that, right? Or do I have someone like a coach or something who's starting to show me how to go through and figure things out? So I'm taking the shortest possible path to do it the right way, right? And then you get to the next level. Okay, now you're top producing agent. You figured all that kind of stuff out. Now you can put your foot on the gas pedal and accelerate anytime you want to, and you can handle the speed. Okay, but now you have a ton of business. And so what happens before is you are trading time for money. You're putting all your time into generating the business, handling the business, and everything else like that. Now you have your business up and running and you have the money, but you no longer have any time. You have given all of your time to the business. I've got the money, but I have no time. I have no quality of life. And at that top agent level, you start trying to figure out how you can trade money for time. You're trying to buy your time back. All right. How do I leverage this? I would love to, not work 24/7. I would love to be able to go on a vacation or go away, or I'd love to have a weekend once in a while, or I'd love to have an evening where I can just sit there and have a glass of wine and I not have to deal with fires and all that other kind of stuff. Right. I'd love to be able to go to my kids' games. Pick your thing. Okay. Go hang out with my grandkids. So that's where you start. Those top producing agents are trying to figure out how to get quality of life back without decreasing their income. I spent all this time building my business. I don't want to just walk away. I don't want to do fewer sales. I don't want to make less money, but I would love to have better quality of life. I tried building a team. Guess what that did? That actually just took both my money and my time. Right. And so what do I do? All right. So what I'm telling you, these are the challenges that people face through the different phases. This is where their head is. This is what they're struggling with. And if they're doing it and they're making it happen through each one of the phases and they're going through the phases, that's great. Okay. But it does, like, some of them have hit a wall, right? That ceiling of achievement, and they've done as much as they can do in their current phase, and they either aren't willing to or they don't know how to break through into the next level. And they just keep bumping against that ceiling over and over and over again because they can't figure it out. They need some guidance, or they're afraid, or whatever it is. And that's where their head is all the time, and that's where their frustration is. If they're moving into the next phase, okay, if you're constantly in a transition phase, the transition phase is painful, which is why most people get to it and go, right? It's the dog at the electric fence, right? I use that example all the time. My dog's running down the hill, barking at the deer, and they run after it, and they really want to go chase the deer into the woods, and they get to the end of the lot, where our electric fence is, and they're barking and running and barking and running and barking and running, and they stop right at the electric fence because they know it's painful if they go through there, even though there's freedom and fun on the other side, right? And that's how most people are. There are multiple rings, right, through each one of these phases, and there's an electric fence at each one of them, and you've got a collar on your neck and you know it. Okay, so what do you do when you hit that spot? Right, so that's where people are. They're either in the thick of it, right, and they feel like they're winning. I'm good. I figured I broke through the electric fence. Okay, what they don't realize, because they haven't been there before, is there's another electric fence coming. They don't realize it. Okay, and I always say, people, if you have an 18 speed bike or whatever, right, and you're riding your bike and you have all these different gears, okay, when you're in the right gear, it's comfortable. Okay, but when you get to a point where you need to switch, like all of a sudden my pedals are turning too fast, or it's too hard to turn and you need to shift gears, what most people need to do is stop, get off their bike, take the chain off, put the chain onto the next gear, get back on and start pedaling again, because they haven't built it to adjust to go to the next system, because they don't know what's coming next. They're not prepared for it. And when they get there, they go, oh, this is hard. this is awful. All right. What do I do? I don't know what to do. And then they got to figure it all out again. Okay. So when you understand the mentality of people at different levels in their business, you understand how to serve them. You understand how to help them. You understand where their head is, right? Whether they're frustrated or whether they're like blissfully ignorant of what's coming up, right? So I was remember what was it, planes, trains, and automobiles when they're driving down the street. The guy's like, "You're going the wrong way," right? And he's like, "How does he know what way we're going?" Like, "Oh, he's been drinking, whatever," right? Because the other person knew it's the wrong way, right? And they had no idea until a semi truck was coming at them. Okay, so you can help people through it, and if you don't know, you got people in the group that know. Okay, we have a lot of awesome leaders in our group, right? I mean, I got Lars sitting here. Lars has been in the business for a long time, but he's led people through the business for a long time. He's familiar with it. He knows, I mean, every one of these phases that I'm talking about, he has coached people through every one of these phases over time. He's seen it. He's seen the pain, he's seen the successes, and all that kind of stuff like that. We have people in our group. We've got Frank in our group, and we've got Kelly in our group, and we've got Chuck in our group, and we have so many people that have been in leadership roles in the industry or have been in the industry for a long time that have seen these things and have built through these things, that can help you, right? So whether you're in it yourself, okay, you got people here that can help you. And if you're talking to agents, you can speak their language and then you can connect them with someone who can get through to the next level and be successful. And you can offer that without selling them anything because you're just like, man, I have been struggling with this and I'm so grateful for all my partners here that have been able to help me go through this in my business. I'm really excited about this and I'm prepared for what's coming up next. And they're like, that sounds amazing because my business isn't like that now. I'm on my own. I'm struggling on my way through it. And unfortunately, a lot of managers at other companies haven't some of them were never in sales. Some of them were in sales, but they didn't sell that much. Right. And so, they go, and you go to them and you say, well, what should I do? And they're like, I don't know, call more people, right? Send some postcards out. They don't actually help you build your business. Now, that's not the case everywhere, but there are a lot. I know the management hiring tactics for most companies, right? And it's the people like, like Lars and myself and everything else who went through sales and have been through the battles all the way through and everything else. It's becoming fewer and farther between at the offices. So a lot of agents out there are going to be struggling. And even if they're in a good office with a great manager, right? It doesn't mean that information is readily available to them or has been put out in a duplicatable system that they can follow. The fact that it's in someone's head is one thing. The fact that it can be taught and shared and supported through the process is another. And that comes from our network and our environment and the information that's available. All right. So took you guys over time. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Hopefully this is helpful to you. I want you to understand that, there are so many things that you can do that are both good for your sales business and open the door for opportunity for people to ask you about EXP, to check out this opportunity, to have, curiosity about it in a way that is, non-pressuring, non-threatening, sharing your experience, sharing the connections that you have, the network you have, the opportunity that's here. And it's totally fine to say, hey, I'm new here. I don't even know that much about it. All I know is my experience so far has been amazing. It's been like nothing I've ever experienced before. The thing that you're asking about is not something that I have encountered yet or not something that I specifically use in my business, but we have a ton of people in our group that are so awesome and they'd be happy to talk to you about it. Can I connect you with someone? We'll jump on, we'll do like a 3-way call so I can introduce you. They're super cool. And they can answer all your questions on that. Oh, and by the way, I could also probably get the president of that or the vice president of that or the regional director or whatever. I could get them on a call with you. They're the one that run that program at the company and they can answer all of your questions and guide you through it if that would be helpful. And right. So you have access to those kinds of resources, but you don't have to know all the answers. You just have to desire to help other people win and help them succeed and not be secretive about it. Put it out there. These are all really passive things. You can take almost any one of these things and make them active. And of course, there are a lot of things on top of this that you can turn up to make active to say, hey, I've got a lot of people asking me about X, Y, and Z. I'm going to put together a Zoom on this, and I'm actually going to invite this person to come join me on that Zoom, and we're going to talk about it. because I've had so many people asking questions. We just figured we'd answer them all in one place. I'm gonna have they're gonna come talk about it, and we're gonna do a live Q&A. No pressure, no expectations. You just come hang out if you're curious. So lots of things you can do. All right, guys. Happy Fire Friday. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. And let us know if there's anything we can do to help you. Love you guys.